Squad, what it do, what it is, it's your boy Nigel.
And it's your girl Des.
We are back in the cover of another video. So this time we finna do the, cause you came up with it, so what we finna do?
Wait, we got time, we got here first. So you guys, we got some little Buffalo Wild Wings, y'all can see, just some slight, you know. So we're gonna be doing, what you call it? The little mukbang, however you pronounce it. But yeah, so today y'all, today we're gonna be talking about our birth experiences. Someone requested for us to do this, so let's get into it.
Okay, so wait, should we tell them how I reacted when I first found out she was pregnant?
I mean, you can. It's a part of like the whole experience.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: when I first found out Desi was pregnant, I can't 100% remember everything. I can't even remember when you told me. How did you tell me?
I told you because, okay, so y'all, when I first found out I was pregnant, I came home one day and I said, look at this. I gave him a pregnancy test. Bam, he was like, you playing? I said, no, I'm not playing. So then y'all, he ended up calling my doctor, had me call my doctor's office, and they confirmed like, yes, she's pregnant. She has an appointment for such and such and such. So this boy started immediately panicking, y'all. Like, I mean, like, need his asthma, inhaler, and all that.
I didn't need him.
So that's pretty much how I told you.
Yeah, I was chill kind of throughout the whole day because I actually went to work and I told Mark in the back of the Chipotle that you was pregnant.
Yeah, but it took a turn because then I guess he really started to like panic because he was scared of what his mom was gonna say. So you gotta tell that part.
So I couldn't sleep. I was laying next to Destiny. I could not sleep. I'm like, she's like, you need to go home. I'm like, nah, I'm be alright. So I went to my mom's and I told my mom she went to the laundromat, so I'm doing all her laundry for her, man. I'm taking her clothes out the wash and putting them in the dryer. And I'm like, Mom, I can carry this to the car. So I'm like, I got something to tell you. And she like, what? I said, Destiny's pregnant. And then she just looked at me and I just started busting out crying in front of everybody. I ain't care who was in the dang laundromat. I started crying. She like, what are you crying for? I just know, you just disappointed in me. What, you want to step outside? I'm like, yeah, just step outside. Mind y'all, my mother is only like 5'1", 5'2".
Like on my height, something like that.
Yeah, I'm over there, I'm big dude sitting in the daggone parking lot crying on my mother's shoulder, man. She's like, what the heck, well, you a grown man, you over here crying. I'm 21 years old. I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, you were 20. No, you were actually when Zayden. No, you were. No, I'm pregnant with him. I was 20. Yeah. So you were 20. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And now, I just wanted to explain that to y'all. Now we're about to talk about.
Okay, so as y'all know, we have 3 kids, 3 boys. So we're just gonna sum it up for y'all. So of course, the oldest is Zayden. He was born 2016, and the next is Noel. He's born 2017. That's his baby Honest. He was born last year, 2020. So, with Zayden, with all 3 of our kids, y'all, I had C-section. Now, I had to have C-sections because with Zayden, the first kid, I had to have an emergency C-section because I got a condition called preeclampsia when I was going to labor with him. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, it's a medical condition where as though for pregnant women, where as though you have very, very, very like extreme high blood pressure and it could be really dangerous. So I ended up developing that with Zayden. And so at one point, y'all, my body just shut down. My doctor was like, nope, it's time to take this baby because at this point, Mom, you're on the verge of having a stroke. So like I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, Zayden was his birth was definitely a 10, y'all, because 1, it was very emotional. 2, it was very stressful. 3, everybody was just like, what, high strung? Like everybody just on edge. 4, y'all, like, just the fact of, you know, I had a birth plan. You know, that was my first child. I was becoming a first time mom. So of course, I wanted everything to go my way, but when it didn't, that kind of just like threw me, y'all. Like, so Zayden's birth was definitely the most traumatic birth just because everything felt so like all over the place and rushed. And I just had to like.
And with me, man, I was still trying to put my mind around me being the father, bruh, the whole time. I mean, I'm sitting there comforting Destiny too, but I'm still sitting there like what the heck? Like even when we had him, they was like, Dad, I'm sitting there like, Dad, and I'm looking like, Oh, me? Like, yes, Dad. Oh my God, yeah, that's right. I am the father now. What the heck?
But y'all, Zayden's birth was like the worst, just because like I was in so much pain, like so much pain, y'all. Like, oh my God, it was like I was just in so much pain, and then like they had me so drugged up. I was so out of it, y'all. Like when Zayden first came out, they wouldn't even let me hold my baby, nothing, y'all. Like I was on the verge of having a stroke, y'all. I remember when I was having my C-section, they had me open, my heart just like started like racing really bad, y'all. It was just a terrible experience. Like I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Well,
like,
plus you was out of it too, because as soon as they came out, as soon as they came out, you was like, oh, he's so, wait, yeah, that was Zayden. Like, oh, he's so sweet, and then you just went smack out.
Yeah, and I told them because they had me so drugged up because of the preeclampsia that I was so out of it, y'all. Like it was times when, and I was like, shit, is she breathing type stuff? Like,
she alright?
I was so on so many like.
Yeah, she was coming down. After she was coming down and all that, she wanted me to scratch her back. I had long nails. I always want my nails to be real long. And I'm sitting there scratching. She's like, yeah, that feels good. I'm scratching her back. Then the doctor come in. I was done scratching her back. The doctor come in. They're like, why do you have a whole bunch of whips on your back? I'm like, you been next time I was scratching your back. They're gonna think I was abusing you.
Yes, y'all. So, I mean, that pretty much sums it up, but.
That sums it up with Zayden. It's that preeclampsia. That preeclampsia is something that really got it.
Like, y'all, I got so sick. Like, my body literally shut down, y'all. Like, it was like life or death situation with Zayden, and I would never forget it. But Noelle was the smoothest pregnancy I ever had. Yeah. Noelle was smooth, and then when we got to the hospital.
Noelle was a Kansas baby.
Yeah. When we got to the actual hospital, y'all, the birthing process was everything was going smooth. It was just up until they put something in my back called I forgot what it's called, but it's like an anesthetic.
It's not an epidural though.
No, it's like an anesthetic where it numbs you from like the ribs down instead of the waist down. So it's supposed to act like faster when you get this planned C-section. Y'all, when I tell you that, man, that is like it felt like somebody took a match, lit it, and threw it down my spine, y'all. Like, oh my God, I remember just crying tears, and the lady was like, I know, Mama, I know, it is burning, I know. Yeah, I was just in so much pain. But other than that, Noelle birth and everything, pregnancy, everything was smooth with Noelle. I didn't have any complications, I was fine. But yeah, so Noelle pregnancy was pregnancy, birth, everything was smooth, just except for when they put that stuff in my back. That was like the worst.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the best rooms I had.
Yeah.
That was one of the best rooms.
But that was just, Noelle was the smoothest. Now, Ani, the last baby, let me see. Y'all know I had C-section with him too. Ani
wasn't worse than Zayden, but he was bad.
Nah, I had a smooth pregnancy with Ani. Delivery was going fine. Actually, this time around, y'all, when they put the needle in my back, this time around, it actually didn't burn, which I was so happy about. And I don't know if it was because the anesthesiologist took his time, like injecting the medicine to my back. I don't know what it was, but God bless him, because y'all, I didn't feel no burning that time in my back, and I was so grateful because I did not want to feel that feeling again, y'all. But everything was going smooth, y'all. Even the C-section was smooth. This time around, I actually got a chance to do like skin to skin with my baby. Yeah. Which I was so excited because with Zayden, I didn't get to do it, of course, because of emergency reasons. Noelle, I forgot to mention, Noelle actually got to do skin to skin too, because everything was smoothly. Honor got to do skin to skin, and everything was going smoothly, y'all, this C-section. It was till after
we got in the room.
Yeah, after we got back in our room, after the C-section was over with.
And you started losing that blood.
That's when everything just went left, y'all. And I was like, oh my God. So with Ani, I started to notice, like, you know, after birth, this may be TMI, but I mean, if you're gonna have kids, you're not gonna know it.
Well, you can't say that while we're eating, if it's TMI.
I'm gonna say it. So after Ani, I had a lot of bleeding. And I mean, after baby, that's what happened.
Oh, that's what you was gonna say, bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
I thought you were gonna say something nasty. Well, that is not nasty. I thought we were gonna be like.
Anyway, y'all, so I had a lot of bleeding after Ani. And usually, you know, you have normal bleeding, but I know my body, and this was like not normal. Cause it was like every few minutes I was like just gushing. I'm like, bro, something's not right. So I called in the nurse or whatever, and I said, can you please check me because something don't. So yeah, after a few minutes I called, and the nurse, I was like, something don't feel right. Can you please check me? So the nurse checked, and she was like, oh my God. She was like, yeah, you're soaking through everything, even the bed stuff. So at that point, y'all, it kind of concerned her. And she came back in like every few minutes to keep checking and see if it was still like that much blood. And at one point she was like, okay, yeah, something's not right. We need to call your OBGYN, your doctor. So they called my OBGYN in, and he took a look, and he was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, this is definitely not normal. And he was like, so at first the nurse was like, okay, so he told her what we're gonna do first is we're gonna give you let you take some medicine that's supposed to like control the bleeding. So I said, okay, so they gave me the medicine, y'all. Then like what, 30 minutes went by. That didn't help. I was still bleeding out. That didn't help. Then she said, okay, well, we're gonna give you a shot in your thigh and more medicine that should stop the bleeding. Really? But so she gave me a shot in my thigh, came back. That didn't work, y'all. At this point, I was like, oh my God, please God. So then the lady comes back, and this one I was like, She come back and say, we gotta give you more medicine, but this time it's gonna have to be up your butt. I said, oh God, please, Lord, why me?
Yeah, we don't do the A word.
Y'all
know what I'm talking about? We don't do the A word.
So y'all, at that point, my nerves were just like shot, y'all. Like at that point, I was like, oh my God, something really must be wrong if none of this crap is working. So they come in, the nurse, you know, she take the pills and put them up there, talk about my booty. And I was so uncomfortable, y'all. And I remember I was just like looking at Nigel, just crying, because I'm like, why do I always, it's always something.
I can just sit there. I can't do nothing.
And yeah, all I could do was just like cry, because I'm like, it's always something. I'm like, why is always something happening to me? Like with both my sisters that have kids, they didn't have to go through nothing like this, y'all. They births were like, you know, were hard too, but they weren't like mine. Like I'm the only one.
That one is the worst part.
I know, I'm gonna get to that. But I'm the only one out of both my sisters that I had my mom that had to have a C-section. Like, I'm like, oh my God, why me? But I guess it's God's plan. But that's not even the worst part, y'all. So after she, you know, stuck the medicine up there, come back to check, I'm still like bleeding non-stop. So at that point, she said, okay, call back in my doctor. My doctor coming in and said, okay, we done tried everything, it's not working. So at this point,
you started to get blood clots.
Yeah, he said, at this point, you're hemorrhaging out. I have to go up there, pull them clots out. He said, oh, else you're not gonna start. You could bleed out and die. He was like, at this point, I have to go up there and try to stop this myself. This point, I was like, oh my God, please.
That made me cry. Cause you know, you can't do nothing. Like when you're a guy and you try to protect what you have, but there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest thing, is just sitting right there and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Y'all, like, and I feel bad too.
Well, it ain't harder than having fingers pull blood out of you. You know?
I feel bad too, just because like Nigel's pain. I was like, I feel bad too, but so y'all, for those of you who don't know, when after you have a baby, your uterus is like expanded because from the baby, of course, but the nurses or doctors have to come in like I think every 15 minutes to push down on your stomach, aka your uterus, to try to, you know, get some of that blood out to show that your uterus could try to shrink back down. And when I tell y'all on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain level on that, by just some pushing down on that, that's like a daggone 100. Like that crap hurts so bad. And mind you, it hurts even worse after having a fresh C-section. So it's a nurse right here, it's a nurse right here, and the doctor's right here. He's like, okay, prop your legs up. We gotta get this. Come on,
I'm over top of her shoulder like that.
So at this point, I'm holding Nigel's hand. We holding on to each other. And I'm just like, ooh, and he can just feel me just shaking so bad. At this point, y'all, I'm bawling tears, just bawling, crying. So the nurse right here, the nurse right here. The doctor said, okay, on the count of 3, I want you to push down as hard as you can. Said that to one nurse, and another nurse, he said, I want you to push down as hard as you can. So mind you, I'm about to have 2 nurses pushing down with all their might on my stomach, y'all. Y'all, oh my gosh. So when he counted 3, they both went up on my stomach and pushed down as hard as they could, y'all. And he went up inside of me, all the way into my arms.
Dude was like,
and like literally
blood just coming out, bro.
The clots out of me.
I'm looking at cuz like, he's like, do you want to see it? I don't want to see it, but I'm like, dang, could you calm down? Like,
yeah, that's when I saw that it hurt so bad. Like, the man just pushing on me, then he's up there, like, literally taking the car. Like, oh my god, y'all, it hurts so bad.
So
I
the first and the last one, Zayden and Honest, was kind of the worst.
Those are the worst, y'all.
Now, for me, with my experience, everything was y'all like the same. For me, food was nasty. I had to sleep on a pull-out. Wait, with Zayden joint, I slept in a chair.
And you slept in a chair.
Honest joint, I just like slept on a little couch.
Yeah.
Like a little couch.
Noel joint, you had like a couch type bed type thing.
Yeah, Noel, I had like a little couch type bed joint. The worst part of me being there was me wanting to go home and the food. I ain't want to eat the food, bro, so I'm over there snacking. Then I thought I came prepared. Well, I thought I came prepared. I bought Lunchables with me.
Oh, you ran out.
I waxed them Lunchables out in like the first, 2-3 hours, yeah? My fat booty, I had to eat something.
But
the battle was going on, I couldn't walk around and get none.
That was like the worst.
That sucks. And if y'all decide to have a kid, whoever I'm talking to, if you don't have one yet, but if y'all decide to have one and it's still the virus going on, you are not going out of that room, bro.
Yep, you can't go out the room.
You're not going out, man.
You go out, you're not going to be allowed to come back in.
Come back in. They don't care who you are. You can be the doctor. It's like,
you so stupid. But yeah.
You obviously can't be the doctor.
So those was pretty much my stories. I mean, I didn't really go too much in depth, but just for the sake of the length of the video. But y'all, like just thinking about those 2 traumatic birthing experiences, like make me want to cry right now, y'all, because it was just that.
Now you have to figure out why I don't want to have another kid too. Even though you want a girl, you gotta figure out why I don't. Yeah,
for those of you who don't know, we have 3 boys, right? And I really want a girl. I mean, all my other siblings, older siblings having girls and boys, and I'm the only one who got like all boys, but I just really wanted, I always saw myself having a daughter, y'all, but I mean, I'm holding out hope that maybe one day we might have a daughter, but Nigel at this point, he's like, no.
No. I honestly don't think so.
He just like he's done. Cause it's not the fact that he wouldn't have more, it's the fact that he don't like to see me in that type of pain.
Well, both. Kind of both, because, like, I mean, I ain't gonna say I would, because you never know what the time may hold down the line. But if we make a lot of money, I would want to try a girl. But, right now, for what I'm doing right now, I don't know.
Oh, and also, we forgot to mention, so after everything calmed down, and I got my bleeding under control and stuff, my doctor actually told us that, another thing we didn't mention was, with Noel, they said that my uterus was really thin, like paper. When I was giving birth to him, my uterus was really thin, like paper. Then with Ani, they said the same thing, that my uterus was really thin. So he said, even if I have another baby, he actually said that he was glad that I didn't go on labor before I got to the hospital. He was like, because if I did, so I have contractions, my uterus was so thin, it would have ruptured me, like I would have ripped open, y'all. So he was like, if you ever have another baby,
you're gonna have to take it early. They're
gonna have to take the baby really early, he said, because they won't let me go full term just because my uterus will be thin.
I think he said 2 or 3 weeks early.
Yeah, because he was like, since I'm so small, I guess like when I go to full term, it's like it stretches my uterus really to the max because my body doesn't have any more room to go. So he was like, we will have to take the baby early because you can risk, if you go into labor early or go into labor with contractions and all that, he's like, you can risk, you know, rupturing and bleeding out. So I was like, oh damn. So that's another thing why I was like, I probably won't end up having no more kids just because of that.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
So got to mention that, y'all, but that's like another major factor in it. because I mean, you know, it's like why risk it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, why? That won't make sense. That's why I was going to get a vasectomy.
I don't know, because for my girls out there, y'all know how it be like when you just holding out that little hope, but then it's like you outweighing it because it's like does the risk outweigh, you know, the good? It's just, I don't know, y'all.
The wisdom, y'all outweigh the good. Trust me.
I don't know.
The risk does not outweigh the good.
I don't know, y'all. But yeah, so that's pretty much our birth story.
Yeah.
Good old H2O, y'all.
If y'all didn't subscribe, if y'all didn't hit that notification bell, I don't know what you do.
Right?
Matter of fact, let's turn around and get him a second. We ain't even gonna look at y'all.
I think y'all hit that subscribe button for us.
Cool, that's all we ask, bro. That's all we ask, bro. You know, that's all we ask. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all want to see what we talk about next, go ahead to that next video, man. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.